Hello there, welcome to our channel Trendy Movie Recap. Our channel gives you movie briefs while capturing the moral of the movie storyline. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time we post a video in future. This is a video of a movie titled Prisoners of the Ghostland. It begins with a scene where two bank robbers enter into a bank. One robber asks the cashier to give to him all the money as his colleague points his two guns to the customers. The robber asking for the money sees his colleague pointing a gun to a little boy ready to shoot him. We see some Chinese women on the balconies of a house. One woman is seen watching a guard standing on the balcony on the opposite side. As the guard goes inside the house, she whistles, and three girls appear, and they run out of the house for their freedom. Once outside the gate, they run until they enter into a car. Inside the car, they breathe with relief as they exclaim the joy of being outside for the first time. They turn on the car and drive off. We see one of the three ladies, Bernice, lying dreaming of the escape. She quickly wakes up after she sees ghosts in the dream. She goes out of house, looks around and shouts that she is not a prisoner. We see swollen hands of a man in cuffs, Hero. Hero is seen looking up through gaps between wood where another man on guard is walking back and forth. A man opens up the door to Hero's cell and leads him out of the cell. A vehicle comes towards the cells and ladies escort it, clapping their hands and chanting, "Governor, Governor, Governor." Hero is brought out naked, covering only the privates, where the governor in a white suit is waiting. The chanting and clapping continues until he raises his hand. When Hero comes out, some people laugh, others mock him, and others point guns at him. A man kicks the ball to the governor, who tells them not to spoil his shoes as he kicks the ball to Hero, who then kicks it toward the women who mocked him. The governor accuses Hero of robbing the Belfour Bank and killing, among others, a small boy, two tellers, a retired Navy officer, and two security guards. The governor asks his guard, Yasuhiro, to hand him over a black leather suit, which he gets from the governor's car. As he hands over the suit to Hero, the governor tells him of a granddaughter, Bernice, who got lost. He tells Hero that for his freedom, he has to go get the granddaughter and bring her to him. Arrive. A lady in the car, Susie, starts screaming and yelling the name Bernice. Yasuhiro calms her down. A lady is seen drawing a remarkable picture of Hero. Hero starts to wear the back leather suit. He wears the suit, and just as he zips up, Susie starts singing, and everyone including the governor sings along. The governor tells Hero about where he is going to look for Bernice. He shows him a picture of Bernice. Hero tells him that he can see why he wants her back. Several men draw out swords and attack him for saying that. Hero beats them up, and Yasuhiro also intervenes and assists him, killing several and cutting up others as Hero watches on. The governor says that no man is yet to be a worthy opponent of Yasuhiro. He tells Hero to zip up, after which he compliments his suit as a remarkable device. He explains that some red flashing parts of the suit are explosive devices connected to a neural sensor, which can recognize the impulse of a man intending to strike a helpless woman. He tells him to mind his manners and, in the event he tries to remove or alter the suit in any way, the suit has charges around his throat that will hurt him. The governor tells Hero that if he brings Bernice back unscathed, he will walk away a free man. The governor tells Hero that he assumes he has accepted his offer and calls one of his men, Shin, to hand over car keys to Hero. Hero asks about a device embedded on the left hand of his suit as catches the keys thrown to him. The governor tells him that each bulb on the device indicates the passing of 24 hours. He tells him that before 3 days are over, Bernice has to say her name into a microphone on the device, which will recognize her voice. He also tells him after this he will be added 2 more days to have Bernice delivered, and the suit will be unlocked by him. He shows him the key that unlocks the suit and wishes him all the best. Hero goes into the car and drives around for a bit, then comes out, picks a bicycle and cycles off, leaving the car. The governor hurls insult at him, while some people seem quite impressed. As Hero cycles on, Yasuhiro follows him with the car, stops right in front of him, then gets out. He throws the keys to Hero, who says not much time left, and checks on the device on his hand. He gets into the car and drives off as Yasuhiro watches quietly. Hero drives for a long time. He stops when he sees some ghost-like people dressed as samurais appear in front of him with a vehicle that has full lights on behind them. He drives towards them in a high speed, and his vehicle crashes. Hero is seen lying on the ground next to his crushed car in a place that seems abandoned. His mind takes him back to a time when he was walking on a street following a kid who goes into Belfour Bank, then to some people dressed in white clothes on a hill. Hero and a woman are seen carried on carts being pulled by men. They are surrounded by more people in rags as they are pulled along. Hero calls her Bernice, and she responds saying she is not Bernice. They go through an area full of zombies, then another area with people wearing white nylon papers who pave way as they dance and sing. They come to a stop, and lady comes and touches Hero's blood, then says some words in Chinese, and others run to see and touch him. When Hero wakes up, he scares the people surrounding him. A man, Enoch, comes and asks Hiro what brings him to their land. Enoch tells him he is the leader of the people in that land. He tells him that the area is known as the Ghost Land, and there is no escape route from the land. Hiro takes out a photo of Bernice, and he asks if anybody knows her. The lady who was brought in a cart with Hiro says that she knows her, and were together earlier. Someone tells him that she is among the people covered with some shells. Hiro unmasks each one of them until he finds Bernice. He tells her to talk, but she doesn't talk. Enoch tells him that her speech power and will to live has been taken from her by the ghosts. He tries to force her to go with him, and one of the explosives almost goes off. He then convinces her after showing her the picture of her with her friends, and he puts her on a cart. Hiro removes the rest of the masks on Bernice's face and tells her to speak her name on the microphone. Bernice is not able to speak. He pours water in her mouth, but she doesn't swallow it. Hiro admires her body, and one of the explosives next to his genitals goes off, removing out one of his testicles. On seeing this, Hiro passes out. He goes to a dreamland. In his dream, he sees himself and his robber college walking in town. When they reach near a bank, he removes a machine gun from his jacket and his colleague removes 2 pistols. They follow a young boy into the bank, and he shots in the air asking everyone to lie down. He tells the cashiers to give him all the money. He sees his colleague point his gun to the small kid, and he tries to stop him. His colleague kicks him, and he goes unconscious. He shoots the policeman who had opened fire on them. He also shoots the cashier with her hands up. He also shoots a marine and finally the young boy. When Hiro becomes conscious, he goes for him, and they fight. His colleague picks a gun, and before he shoots Hiro, Hiro jumps on him, and they fall on the road through the glass window. The policemen arrive and Hiro puts his hands up. His colleague picks a gun and tries to shoot the policeman. The police shoot him as Hiro runs away from the scene. In his dream, he sees Bernice lying on the road with a gunshot wound on her leg. When he regains consciousness, ghosts come and starting pulling them together with Bernice. One of the buttons on his hand detonates, throwing the ghosts away from them. His hand is badly injured and he passes out again. He goes to the dreamland again and see himself in the ghost land. Bernice speaks her name on the microphone, and 2 more buttons go green. Hiro has 2 more days to take her back to the governor. Bernice tries to wake Hiro up, but to no avail. The governor is seen sitting with Chinese ladies surrounding him when he calls out to Susie to join her, but she refuses. The governor calls on Yasuhiro to bring money, which is thrown on the ladies, who are very excited and make a lot of noise. Susie shouts for them to stop when the governor asks if she knows when Bernice is coming back, and she answers that she is coming back. One of the ladies who had run away together with Bernice is brought back by the security. The governor goes out and interrogates her, then instructs Yasuhiro to execute her, which he does as everyone watches and chants tick-tock. Enoch is seen reading a book to the people in the Ghostland when some start arguing about the whereabouts of Hiro and Bernice. Bernice shows up and tells everyone about the ghosts when a boy sees Hiro and rings the bell announcing his arrival. Everyone is startled on seeing him, and a woman asks what he saw, and he tells them he saw people who he had harmed. He looks up and sees children waving at him, to which he waves back. We see a man calling out to Yasuhiro to come and fight him. Yasuhiro jumps down from the balcony, and the man calling him step aside, and other men come to fight him. He kills all of them. Back in the ghost land, we see people pulling a rope tied to the minute hand of a big clock. They are stopping the minute clock from moving, because it could detonate a bomb that would destroy the ghost land with all its people. Hiro announces to everyone that tomorrow, they'll all be leaving Ghost Land. Many of them, including their leader, tell him it is impossible. Bernice backs him up, saying that if they don't leave, the ghosts will take over the world. They then go to the dwarfs, who are the mechanics, and tell them to repair all the vehicles. With the help of some people, the dwarfs start working on repairing cars and other electricals as Enoch and the others watch. A man shouts that he has seen a blue butterfly, which signifies death. He believes they will all die the next day. They manage to rebuild some, and even bring back lights, as well as make Hiro's hand some kind of shield. In the morning they gather up everyone, and they start leaving the ghost land. They the ghost blocking their way and dressed like samurais. The leader of the ghost approaches them. He asks Hiro if he can recognize him. He is the partner they robbed the bank with. He seems to have been in a terrible fire. He had died during the robbery, and is now the ghost leader. Hiro requests him to allow the people leave Ghost Land, and he agrees. He tells Hiro that the governor is the cause of all the problems people are facing, and that he and Bernice must finish him. Hiro says thank you to Ghost Leader, who then walks back and stands next to the other ghosts. He brings his hands together, then extends and them out. A great explosion of fire is seen as everyone else watches. Outside the sheriff's office, everyone has gathered and Susie is playing with her robot. A man calls everyone to order. Then the governor starts to speak, praising himself and talking of his worth. Shin sees Hiro and Bernice approaching and announces it to everyone, and they are all startled. Susie calls out Bernice just as the sheriff whistles, and some his men with guns and swords surround Bernice and Hero. The governor excitedly calls Bernice as he goes in to hug her. Hero asks the governor for the key to unlock the jacket, but he does not respond. As the governor continues to talk to Bernice, Hero asks again, but a bit loudly this time, and the governor insults him. Hero holds a knife to Bernice's throat and threatens to kill her if he does not get the key. Susie takes up a machine gun and starts shooting at the sheriff's men. She also gets shot. Bernice is also shot and Hero fights the sheriff's men, killing most of them. Bernice puts Susie in a cart and tries to pull her to safety. She comes across men with swords. She runs from them and meets Yasuhiro, who fights with them as she hides her sister and promises to come back for her. She gets hold of a sword and fights some men blocking her way, killing them instantly. Yasuhiro faces Hero, and they fight, injuring each other. The governor goes back to his house only to find women taking all his property for themselves and starts crying and looking for Susie. The fight between Yasuhiro and Hero continues up to a point where Hero slashes his stomach, killing him. The governor finds Susie, who tries to crawl away from him until she sees Bernice and asks for her help. As the governor insults Bernice, a memory rushes in her mind of the day she met him, then she shoots him several times. As Hero walks towards them, Bernice smiles at her sister. Hero picks the key from the ground and deactivates the suit while a boy from the ghost land watches on. The boy runs to the ghost land and announces that the governor is dead. They all move away from the clock, and the men holding the minute hand with a rope let go. The minute hand moves to 12, and at exactly 3 o'clock, the bomb detonates, and an explosion occurs that destroys the clock and adjacent buildings. All the people jump and celebrate their freedom. Hero, Bernice and Susie watch as normalcy resumes in the town. Please subscribe to our channel for more of such videos, share our videos, and leave a comment on the comment section.